G'day mates, in today's video I want to kick off talking about what's going on with Sentinels dropping their entire Fortnite roster, including Bugha, and why everyone's freaking out that this could be the beginning of the end of Fortnite as an esport. I also want to talk about another concern of Fortnite potentially being banned in entire countries like Australia because of another class action lawsuit against Epic Games. It's a crazy video, let's just jump into it. Let's kick off talking about what's going on with Sentinels and why they dropped their entire Fortnite roster, including Bugha. We found out about this from their YouTube channel. They posted a video called Thank You Bugha. It's a 5-minute recap of Bugha's career, and honestly it's a really good video, but it left me with a lot of questions of what's going on because Bugha's mid-contract. We actually had the owner of Sentinels tweet out, and this summed it up really well. As our organization maps out the future, our strategy is to focus on games that provide the opportunity to activate for our sponsors or offer team branded in-game content. Fortnite has not offered either of those. I am announcing today we will no longer be competing in Fortnite, and that is a massive blow to Fortnite as an esport. Sentinels, one of the biggest orgs, the org that signed the World Cup champion and re-signed him on a multi-year contract, no longer sees the value in Fortnite. Now, we do have a lot of different orgs pulling out of Fortnite at the moment. NRG now only has myself and Clicks on the roster. Sentinels now pulled out, Cloud9 pulled out, Liquid for the most part has pulled out, 100 Thieves has pulled out. All these massive orgs are pulling out of Fortnite, and if you're confused as to why, Rob Moore sums it up really well. They're just not getting a return on their investment because Epic has always, and seems like they never will, work with orgs. There's no in-game Fortnite esports kind of content. There's no skins, there's no cosmetics, there's just no mention of anything in-game. When players won the Invitational, they didn't really do anything in-game for it. They tweeted out on their official socials, but even then, it really wasn't that much support. The players at the LAN event when doing interviews actually had to take off some of their jerseys and put on Fortnite t-shirts because they had too many brands or they weren't allowed to show certain logos. It's just, Fortnite has historically always been really difficult to work with for orgs, and it looks like it's getting to that point now where it's so difficult, they're just not seeing it worth the investment. They're all putting their money into other esports like Valorant. It's no surprise Sentinels just dropped a massive amount of money into getting a division Valorant team who are now going to be playing in the top division. We have orgs like NRG who are doing the same thing. They just dropped a massive amount of money on their Valorant division and taking money away from Fortnite. It's the way a lot of orgs are looking right now because they're going towards esports that are getting them a proper return on investment. Fortnite always pulled numbers high enough where it could be worth it just because of content numbers and building your brand. A lot of you guys watching this probably only know about Sentinels because of Bugha if you're a Fortnite fan, and for that reason it was worth it. But as the game develops more and more and other esports are pushing the boundaries of, having in-game cosmetics, running tournaments in liaison with them, like I said, Valorant right now, they've now picked a set amount of teams in each region, which are going to be now their partner teams. They're literally paying them money as orgs to run tournaments and make content within their esport. It's just completely night and day when it comes to Fortnite. I know I'm focusing mostly on Bugha here because he is the World Cup champion. He is one of the crowning jewels of Sentinels, and he is the most prevalent Fortnite player they still have signed. They did mention they won't be re-signing Aspect or Zypher as well, so I want to make sure this is very clear. It's not like Bugha's, fallen off or Bugha did something wrong. It's just Sentinels pulling out of Fortnite, that plain and simple. And even though they had the World Cup champion, one of the most valuable players, if not the most valuable players, signed to their org, they're still not getting value for it. Now, I am drawing a lot of comparisons to other esports, but it would be fair to mention that Fortnite's not the only one. We've recently had 3 major orgs pull out of Apex Legends, Cloud9, Team Liquid, and now G2 as well pulling out of Apex Legends. So a lot of people saying this is due to the looming recession, and orgs already weren't that profitable, so now in these sort of games they have to crunch their numbers and be a bit more conservative. So there are a lot of reasons outside of this. I don't want this just to be purely doom and gloom. Fortnite is a terrible esport and they're not running things properly. It has been a known issue with Fortnite for a very long time now. They don't support orgs. They've been doing this since before World Cup. They did it through World Cup. This isn't really anything different. The more orgs pull out of the game, it is a little bit sad because players' income is going to go down and there's less support for these players. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, Bugha makes millions, the NRG guys made millions. It's more around supporting the ecosystem as a whole. If players have a salary, they can devote more time into practicing the game or maybe making content to reward. It just builds the whole scene when there's orgs around it. Fortnite will still survive without orgs because it is an open esport where anyone can show up and play. You don't have to be signed to Sentinels to play in the LAN event. You just have to qualify. So unlike other esports where they need orgs because they need teams that are signed to play, Fortnite will still survive. I just don't think it will thrive as much as it could if Fortnite supported some of these orgs. In saying that, it's also not all doom and gloom for Bugha. Bugha tweeted out himself saying, "Today is my last day as SEN Bugha. I'll forever be grateful for the opportunity over the last 3 years. While this is the end of an era and memorable chapter of my career, this also starts an exciting new one in 2023. Saying thank you, Sentinels." So it looks like Bugha has potentially already joined another org and is waiting to announce it. So maybe all of me saying this is for nothing and orgs are going to come back and he's going to join a crazy new org. Maybe it's a big money org like 100 Thieves who might be returning back to Fortnite. I actually personally have my eyes on GXR, Galaxy Racers. They've signed quite a few Fortnite pros like Queasy and Malabuka, and they do have a big funding behind them. I was just researching on GXR and there are headlines, the fact that they're investing $3 billion in La Liga, so a football club, so a football organization. So they do clearly have the money for a player like Bugha. It'll be interesting to see where he goes, but maybe we'll see some other newer orgs come out and make a name in Fortnite. We have huge, fantastic orgs like Become Legends, like Wave on EU, who are doing really cool stuff. So it's not really the end. Maybe we just won't see those conventional regular orgs coming into Fortnite, and instead we'll see more smaller orgs become big orgs through Fortnite. Even more scary than orgs pulling out of Fortnite, we now have rumors that potentially Fortnite is going to be banned in certain countries. I got asked about 200 times today if Fortnite is going to be banned in Australia, and if you're in Australia, you're no longer going to be able to play it. A lot of this is stemming from the fact that there is a potential class action lawsuit going against Fortnite for being too addictive. You've probably already heard this. I talked about in a recent video where they had to pay over $500 million to the FTC. This is different. This is now Australia potentially taking a lawsuit against Epic Games. But I will say right here, this has also happened in Canada. It went to the Supreme Court and it was shut down. It was not successful. Fortnite was not sued. And as far as how Australia goes, it is only in the petition stage. It is basically a bunch of parents trying to get signatures to then go to a class action lawsuit, to then go to court, to then sue Fortnite. It's very far off actually happening. And from what we've seen now in Canada, where it got shut down in the Supreme Court, and now that Fortnite has paid over $500 million to the FTC in the United States, if they are potentially sued again, it's not going to lead to the game being shut down, or there's going to be like a block on playing Fortnite in Australia. That just wouldn't happen, or any other country. If Fortnite gets sued, they're going to have to pay damages, they're going to have to pay money, but you'll still be able to play the game. And like I said in my recent video, when they were sued for over $500 million, this is just going to be a cost they absorb. It's not going to affect the prize pool, it's not going to affect the game. They're worth over $30 billion, and a lot of what they're getting sued for, the practices that they were implementing, they've made more money by doing those than the amount they're going to get sued for. So if you're freaking out that Fortnite's going to be banned in your country, and if you're in Australia, you can no longer play Fortnite, don't worry. That is a very small chance of actually happening. All right, guys, that does it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please chuck a like on it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.